Holy man.
Aren't you supposed to have like an intro or something? Like,
No.
Welcome back. Today we have a fake Rastafarian with us.
Fucking shit, man. Mike, you got the drum kit?
Oh no, I
Doo-doo,
hooked up.
doo.
well,
Well,
I'll be a fake Rastafarian while you're a fake Irishman.
not bad.
St. Patty's Day was a couple of
bad.
months ago.
We'll give it a 7 out of 10, that response.
I won't take it lying down. I will not go silently into the night, okay?
Well, welcome back to the Stalebread Podcast. We have our friend here, Skipperson.
Executive producer of the Sailbread podcast, owner, producer,
You can edit that part out.
and he is executive. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
Owner,
with his name.
producer, and
Listen,
creative genius of SMG Studios.
Mike, you should probably just get on
listen.
your
I
knees,
can't call
buddy.
myself it, but you
Yeah.
can, Mike. I'm waiting.
That's a
What am I?
whole nother mouthful. You're our friend.
All right.
Sound like
Hello,
Arnold
friend.
Schwarzenegger.
No,
sucking on
someone
dick.
else just called themselves that, and we just said we can't call yourself that. Someone else has to call you that.
I don't
I
I
follow.
guess I was not here for that.
What did the dude at Best Buy just call himself?
A savant.
The SMG Savant.
Thank you.
SMG Studios Savant. SMG Communications Savant. Skipperson Clark.
Ah.
Yes.
So I wanted to interview you a little bit today, and, just to learn more about you. So
Alright.
But before we do that, I have something non-important that I promised I would talk about this next episode.
his bitch mom.
Jesus fuck, man. We're not even 5 minutes in the goddamn
Would
show.
it be a show?
I really hope he's talking about you or talking to you.
Yes, I was
Right,
talking
he
to
should
Jeremy. I don't.
Oh, okay, because you should be thoroughly, you know what I'm saying, abreast of the Yo Mama jokes in the black community.
Well, I am.
Don't think North Carolina is too far for you to be touched.
Oh, come on now.
All right, what you got, Jeremy?
I finally finished Game of Thrones. We're bringing it back. I'm late as fuck, but I did it. And you know the unit guy? You guys have seen that, right?
No.
No,
Never watched it.
No?
never seen Game of Thrones.
Okay, well, anyway, I'm going to talk about it. There's a eunuch in it. And great actor. He was really fucking good. He was really good. But I hated him the whole way through. Mike, can you pull up a picture of this guy?
From Game of Thrones?
Yeah. This is the bald motherfucker.
That didn't narrow it down.
Oh,
at all.
I see
Yeah,
what
it
you're
did.
doing here. I see what
Yeah.
you're doing here. I see what you're
No.
getting at. The only
M. Night Shyamalan, man.
Shamalamalan.
Shamalamalingon.
Yeah.
They sing a song about him in The Little Mermaid. Shamalamalamalalan.
Don't you cry, you got to kiss the girl.
Whoa, whoa.
Wow, wow.
So this guy?
Yeah.
All right.
I finally figured out what pissed me off about him.
Okay.
He looks like fucking Rosie O'Donnell's son.
What the fuck? Oh.
Is no one going to address the fact that Keller has not, adapted to tonight's theme?
He has not.
Oh, the sun. I don't own sunglasses.
He can't use them, man. He's
Yeah,
What
blind.
do you got? What do you got? Transitions?
No, I didn't. I don't have any transitions.
Wear your safety glasses.
At work, being safe.
You're supposed to have a dark and a light pair.
I got both. You don't question me on my colored glasses.
Hey, pretty soon I will be.
It's true.
Are you going to be the safety manager?
Oh.
No, you have to be first line first. Yeah.
All right, back to our interview with you, sir.
Yeah, yeah.
You're
Yes,
a
yes,
very
yes.
talented music producer, and
I appreciate you. Thank you.
yes, and I want to know when was your passion for music? When did it start?
4 score and 7 years ago, I was a young lad, and wow, it seems like everybody just stopped to listen. Is
Yeah,
that
pretty
really
much.
how this works?
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
you're
Fucking,
telling your
Oh
story.
shit!
you want us to interrupt you?
You said
No,
four
no,
score
no, no,
seven
no, no,
years ago when you were a kid, so that
no,
was
no, no,
like
no, no. Scratch that.
65 years ago. Okay, go.
Yeah. So yeah, right around that time, um, I think I was probably probably about it was before the age of 5. And I grew up in church, and music is very, very heavy, a big, heavy thing there. And the drummer was always exciting to watch. And I started with the drums at a young age, and it just pretty much matured over time. I went from drums to sounds, a little bit of keyboard and everything like that. And I've always loved music. Fun fact: the first rap anything I ever heard in my life, okay, was Bone Thugs and Harmony's Crossroads.
Oh man,
Growing up, I was not allowed to listen to anything
I
that was
bet.
not gospel, okay? And so when my dad got out the military and we moved back to Florida from Kentucky, my cousin, his my aunt and uncle, they were a little bit more loose with their parenting styles. And so I come home from school one day, getting ready to do my homework, and I've always had the general practice. I listen to music while I do everything, cleaning, shitting, whatever. And so I turned the radio on, thinking, that my cousin had it on, 1400 a.m. walking in the light.
Walking in the
And that was the radio station. It was the gospel station. You know what I'm saying? You want to listen to music. If you want to listen to music, you listen to 1400. If you want to listen to preaching, you listen to 1360. If you want to listen to preaching and music, you listen to 1280.
Oh shit.
And so, right, you know what I'm saying? The church had the AM on lock. Okay,
And they broke all
so
the other number logs, so you can't change it.
straight up. And so, but no, I turned the radio on, just want to turn some music on, and I hear boom, 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 boom. I'm like, what is this? They're talking
Boom,
over
boom,
music.
boom, boom, boom. What you
And
gonna do?
then he was just like, and of course, the busy bone. I'm like, what is this curse? And I'm like, but I like it. It has me. And that was a wrap after that. And then it didn't take long after that for me to discover Tupac. Okay.
Yeah. So
And
that was your
so
first love of any
that,
secular
as
song.
they say, as of that day, as they say, that's when I fell in love with hip hop.
Did you always know
In
you
the
wanted to
third
make
grade.
music though?
No, I did not. I never knew exactly what I wanted
You
to
just
do
knew you liked
in
it.
music. I just wanted to be a part of it in some form or fashion. And so like going back to like the whole drummer thing in church, one day, one Sunday, the drummer just wasn't there, I guess, and I don't know what behooved me to just get on the drums. And like I wasn't, instant, talent, but as soon as I got on, I had rhythm. Like it was just a straight boom, bap, boom, bap, boom. I had it. I had the coordination, and then it grew from there. And just about everything that I do now it has been 100% self-taught.
Okay.
Um, Outside of certain, YouTube University videos that I've watched, to get further advanced at my skill set, everything else besides that has been self-taught. And I'm very proud about that. I've dealt with people who went to school for, this stuff. And, and they would ask me, they was like, you go to school, did you go to school? Did you study? I said, no, I'm just kind of one of those self-taught guys, self-made, however you want to put it, with a little, internet help here, but no formal training in anything.
Oh yeah, there's a YouTube
Um,
video for anything nowadays.
bro, I'm trying to tell you, man, it's like, you know, when I first got started, when I first got back started again, I had to go to YouTube just to figure out what it is I needed to do because everything had changed. Because when I was doing it as a teenager, a lot of everything was analog. It was just starting to get to the computer side to where it was affordable for people that wasn't in the industry. And like I had a buddy back in the day. I want to say his name was Kenny. I don't remember anything else about it, but his name was Kenny. And we used to walk up and down King Street with this big 88 key keyboard going between his house and my house that we got from Radio Shack.
Oh shit,
And it had
Radio
like a
Shack. There's a callback.
yeah, right. And it had a built-in, recorder. So, back then if you wanted to do, any kind of multi-tracks or anything like that, you had to have, like a 4-track recorder. And, I couldn't afford that, as a kid or a teenager. So I had to do, I had to use what I had at my disposal, and that was two boom boxes that I had hooked up to each other. And one of my old gym teachers, um, when he found out that I was a drummer and like, I was real, into music and stuff, and so was he. Come to find out, he gave me my very first drum machine, a Yamaha RY30. I still have that drum machine to this day. I'll never get rid of it. That's the piece of history that started it all.
That's how
Wherever
I used
this,
to make my mixtapes. I had 2 boom boxes, and one of them had a microphone
right?
input. So you take
Yeah.
Well, I had a two-sided tape receiver, so I would record, then rewind where the commercial started, then stop it, then record as soon as another song comes on, and like fade it in and out with the with the end of
Yeah,
the
yeah,
music.
yeah. Like growing up, we had so many different ways to like record things. Like even when it came to video, you remember if somebody said, "Hey, look, man, I go rent it. I'll double tape it for you."
Introducing We Are Schwaff LLC, your go-to for cutting-edge creativity. From crafting killer storyboards and producing epic sounds, designing standout clothing, hydro dipping, and wood burning, we do it all.
Follow them on social media on Instagram and Facebook at We Are Schwaff to see the revolution unfold. That's WeAreSchwuaff. We Are Schwaff.
We Are Schwaff LLC, where innovation meets the future, and the future is Schwaff.
Nobody would know
Yep.
what double tape means
Yep.
nowadays.
Hey, I gotta ask you, man, because we got into it a little bit on the last episode. I was trying to explain to them, or I was talking to them about vinyls, how
Yeah.
I like vinyls, or how they're making a comeback, and I was explaining that it's not listening to music; it becomes an activity. It's something you have
Absolutely.
to. And you were talking about how you grew up very church style, very religious household. When I was growing up, I didn't really have that. Music was kind of a religion to me. It's what I fell into. The songs were my sermons, and I practiced.
Yeah.
I practiced. So,
Yeah.
with vinyls, you gotta put it on there. You gotta drop the needle. It becomes an activity. It becomes something you can submerge yourself in and be part of it, instead of just clicking on Spotify and rolling with it.
Right. That's the one thing I love about vinyls, man. Every time that needle drops, bro, vinyls force you to listen to the entire thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, you can skip and go to the next song and all that, but you don't want to. You know what I'm saying? And when that first side is over with, you can't wait to flip it and start it over again. It's a feeling that you can't get from any other source of, listening to audio, so because it's like, we had tapes where, you had to fast forward and all that little stuff like that, what I'm saying? But that tape made you want to listen to what was coming next. When CDs came out, it was the beginning of the spoiled era in audio listening. Because it didn't take you no time to go to the next song. If you didn't like it, you remember, if you had a tape and a song came on and you didn't like it, you had to sit there and press fast forward, then stop it, press play, hope the song was over, and then, you had to find that just right spot where it was just a dead space right before the next song came on. And but vinyls, they don't make you do that. Like I said, it entices you. It makes you want to like get to that next one.
The joy is finding the albums that are worth it, because you
absolutely
like
absolutely. Oh yes.
No one can see the picture.
Pink,
Jeremy,
Pink
Pink
it's an
Floyd. You
audio
don't have to see the
podcast.
picture. You just need.
I,
All you have
I
to do
was
is see
I
the
was
triangle and know what it is.
I was cueing him to go into it,
Dark Side
and you
of the Moon.
fucked it up, Keller, like you do everything else.
Yeah, you know that.
Yeah.
What's your favorite record on that album?
You're a failure.
what's your favorite track on that album? I got mine.
Time.
What's your
Time.
Michael?
Oh man, I think it's a great gig in the sky.
For once, me and Keller finally agree on something. Mine is Money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Money. The way they use the cash register and the coins and all that. It was genius for that time.
It is
like, you know,
by far one of the most complete albums ever created. It is
Oh,
Dark
yeah.
Side of the Moon is it's essentially, if you listen to it from start to beginning, or beginning to shut up.
From start to
You
beginning.
fucked
Yes,
up.
I did. From start to end, it is
If you
one.
go from beginning and hear nothing at all, it's amazing.
I know, right?
Maybe you
It
should
really
put the
is.
needle down and turn the volume up.
Fuck all of you. All of you.
I said nothing.
Gentlemen,
All
let's
I've
calm
done
down.
was laugh.
Oh,
It is.
Let's all be gentlemen.
It is by far one of the most complete albums from beginning to end. And it is essentially
It is.
one track because it just continuously plays through
Very
every
much
single
so.
one. And you don't know where the next track stops and the next one begins. And by far is in my top 5 of favorite albums of all
And
time.
with me as president and everyone on heroin, all that can happen again. I'm telling you.
So funny story. So you know,
Oh God, he said heroin. You said funny story.
I have a funny non-heroin based story. So I live in Jacksonville. Okay, I don't know where you guys hail from, but so we have Leonard Skinner that's from here, right?
Hell yeah, brother.
And then we got Leonard Skinner, Limp Bizkit, right? So I'm talking to my mom. My mom, big music person too. She plays the sax, and she had scholarships, full ride scholarships to be in the FSU and FAMU band and all that stuff like that. Didn't get to take them because apparently my dad failed to spill me on the sheets. So lo and behold, here I come.
You ruined her life, Anthony. Ruined it.
Hey, I didn't ask
She has
to be here.
She could have been a scholar.
She actually had one of those scholarships too. She had an academic scholarship too. My mom was smart as shit.
Yeah.
And well, let me not say was. She is. And so
Did she go back
but
to
no,
school?
so I'm talking to her. I think she did at one point, but then again, my dad failed to spill my brother or my sister on the sheets as well. So it's just a repeating cycle, rinse and repeat 3 times. But what ended up happening was we was on the phone one day and she was talking, and I think when she called, I was listening to Pink Floyd, and when she called I was like, you would call soon as my favorite song comes on, and I'm telling her, yeah, Money was getting ready to come on, and she was like, oh yeah, Pink Floyd, yeah, aren't they from Jacksonville? I said, Mama, no, they're not even from this country. She was like, which one is it? I said, probably Leonard Skinner or Limp Bizkit, Mama, but it's definitely not Pink Floyd. Jacksonville would be way more advanced if they were. But Keller's missing a very pivotal point of the show. But
he's not really listening anyway.
Right.
He never does.
But yeah, so that was like hilarious when she told me, because like soon as she said it, I just like bust out laughing for a solid 3 minutes and 27 seconds. I couldn't stop. And because I was like, yeah, no, Pink Floyd is definitely not from here at all. So, but and then the funny part, I think around that time is like Leonard Skinner that just came and did a concert at the stadium not too long ago. Whenever that last time they were, was here. But yeah. But music will forever always be my love language. I have a shirt that says
my
that.
dad
actually.
saw not Leonard Skinner, Pink Floyd at Carnegie Hall in the 60s. in
Oh
New
wow.
York City.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Whatever happened to that? Like famous venues, musicians playing at famous venues. Is that not a thing anymore?
Apparently not.
Not like it
Like
used to be.
I would love to do, do the hall, as they would say,
Yeah.
What's another? Oh, what was we talking about the other day, Mike? The Copa.
Oh, the Copacabana. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, yeah. The Copa.
Copacabana,
Carnegie Hall.
hottest place
Was
in
an
the savannah.
the Apollo.
Yep.
The Music City Radio Hall. You know what I'm saying? It seems like all that stuff now is like a thing of the past, and it's kind of sucky because it's like those were like some of the perks of being in the industry. You got to do certain things that when you said you did it, it meant something. It carried a little weight.
Robin Williams did
like,
his stand up live on Broadway. That was a big
right.
deal.
Yeah. So it's like now it's just I can't stand like where rap music has went as far as just the I don't even know what to call it. The optics of it now. It's just rap music now is really just a financial come up. Like nobody's really in it for the craft anymore, and it's like it really is like
Feels
a financial
saturated.
come up. I wouldn't even say saturated as long as it's talented people. You can never have too much of that.
No.
I think the problem is it's saturated with too many untalented people.
Exactly.
So it's just like but it feels weird though. It's like I'm 38, getting ready to be 39, and like all the people that I listened to growing up, Usher and CeeLo and things like that, they're all getting residencies now. It's like, isn't that like the last stage of like your musical career? Like, you cash in on your, you cash in on your legacy at this point, and you do like multiple shows for like, this multiple show, run for like 60, 90 days, however long they sign for now. And like after that, it's really not too much. It doesn't play out like that for everybody. You got like I think Usher had a residency not too long ago in Vegas, and he did very well. And then I almost want to say he got to cap it off with the Super Bowl performance, and then came out with another album as well. I didn't listen to it. But,
Him and his roller skates.
hey, look, man. Listen.
That was
Usher's
a great performance.
Isn't Usher almost like 50 if he's not 50, and he looks younger than all four of us?
I don't care what you say. That,
but he reminds me of
out of the park. Knocked it completely out of the park. I loved it.
Usher has a great skin routine, guys.
He reminds me of that guy off of Reno 911. Have you ever seen Reno 911?
Like, I've seen him while I was high, so I can't remember, but I do remember laughing my ass off.
They have the character on there, Terry. He's always on roller skates and always high. And they're like, Terry, what you doing over here? Nothing. Eating Skittles. Like the other day, I saw a man with a flamethrower, and there was a baby.
That's Nick Swardson, right? Nick Swardson played Terry.
Yeah, Nick Swardson.
He was just on Kill Tony the other night, on Monday night.
That was one of my favorite things of that show.
Oh man, that
so hilarious. So, where'd you grow up?
I'm a military brat.
Oh yeah, we were doing an interview.
Born here in Jacksonville, and hold on, I have to look this piece of information up. Usher is 45, but I was born here. I think the first time we left when my dad was in the military, we went to Fort Polk, Louisiana. The only thing I remember about that is the name and the little creek and the church we went to. No, we had a trailer. Thank you. Okay.
My bad.
And we went to this church, 7-Day Adventist. If you know about them, you know about them. They go to church on Saturdays, and this particular one believed in keeping the Sabbath. When I tell you we would be in church Saturday morning till Saturday night, oh my God, thank God I was too young. I was not cognizant enough to care,
Yeah.
Because had I had to do that as a teenager, I would have been.
I did. Wednesday and Sundays, and you would have two services on Sunday. So morning service, you go eat, and then you come back.
No,
And
no, 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 no. I'm not. No, no, no. We what? You didn't eat on Sabbath. What's wrong with you?
well, our
No, we
preacher
did,
was fat,
bro.
so we had to
Listen,
eat.
the only thing that I eventually was allowed to do was go to my football games because that was it. My dad was a big sports fan, so I was allowed to do the sports thing, but I couldn't watch cartoons. I couldn't, bruh.
So he was pretty strict.
Tell you, strict is not the word. My dad was ape shit.
Yeah, well,
You know what I'm saying?
Lockdown.
like punishment wise, did you get ass whoopings and stuff like that?
Oh, bro, I lost count after one. You know what I'm saying? Like there was one time I was 16. Now I'm 6'1" now. When I was 16, I was like 5'11", probably 6 feet. My dad is probably 5'10". Okay, but when I tell you, still to this day, my dad's arms are the size of my thighs.
Dang.
One day, like my dad thought I was smoking in the family van, right? As a grown man, I'm telling you now, it was still not me. It was my friend Joseph who walked up, smoking a black and mild. I was putting a new CD player in my mom's van, okay? And my dad needed to make a run. My mom had his car or whatever, so he took the van. And so he was like, hey, I need you to wrap that up. Yeah, I got to make a run real quick. All right, cool. So I just capped the wires and, I'll just wait for you to get back to do, finish up what I was doing. Now, mind you, I'm like 15, 16, probably 16. And, at that time, like I said, probably 6 feet, probably 170, 180. All of a sudden, my dad leaves, comes back like 10 minutes later. And I'm like, well, that was a quick run. I'm like, my dad usually didn't go to the corner store. He would always just send me if he had to make a quick run. So I'm like, what's going on here? I'm like, so I'm getting ready to grab my toolbox and head back outside. As I'm walking to the door, he just storms back in, grabs me by whatever clothing I had. Like I've lost a whole bunch of shirts as a child because my dad would always grab those first and rip them. And so somehow I managed to get from almost to the front door all the way back to my room with the door shut. And my dad is he has me, and then next thing you know, he was like, why was you smoking? And nonetheless smoking in my car. I was like, it wasn't me. All I remember was a hand around my neck, and then I just happened to just look down a little bit, and my feet were no longer on the floor. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, it wasn't me. It just was. And then he dropped me. Like, I literally, like, gravity. I came back down. I didn't,
Shit.
yeah, so, yeah, he was,
I remember.
he was definitely strict. And he was one of those ones, like, my dad was in the military. And, what's the one thing, Jeremy, nobody wants to do when they go to the military?
Pay taxes.
What did you say?
I said pay taxes. I don't know.
Not you, him. He looked like he was. It looked like he was getting ready to say boot camp. Okay,
I was.
Nobody wants to.
Yeah, but it would have got edited out, so I filtered myself.
Let me stop you right
so
there.
the one or maybe 5 things we don't talk about on this show.
But yeah,
anymore.
But, everybody doesn't want to go to. Nobody wants to go to boot camp again after they go it, right? Like even when I was trying to go to the military, I was like, dang, I wish there was a way I could go without having to go to boot camp. But it is necessary. You know what I'm saying? My dad is such a psycho. He wanted to go to boot camp again. He said it was fun.
Okay.
I'm like, what the hell is wrong with this? And I got to live in the house with him. Like when I was thinking about going to the military 13 years ago.
Some of the
My
best
dad was
times,
like-
some of the worst times.
My dad was like, shit, I wish I could go with you, go back. I'm like, what is wrong with him? No.
Yeah. My dad
Like,
used to
he's
whoop our
still that
ass
guy.
with belts, paddles, hands, whatever he could
And
find. I remember one time I was in elementary school and I had this friend named Alan. We used to walk home from the bus. We lived out in Middleburg, so it was like a long stretch to get to the house. And then you got a long driveway after that. And we decided it would be funny to moon cars while the cars were going past on the road. So we're dropping our pants, mooning them and laughing. And then all of a sudden a car stops, it goes in reverse and it's coming back. And we're like, oh shit. So we start running and he lives beside me, but cuts down another driveway to get to his house. And I'm running as fast as I can. I get to my house and my dad I open the door. I'm like huffing and puffing. He's like, "What's going on with you?" He's like, "Oh," I was like, "Me and Alan were just racing home."
So
So
not only were you doing something you weren't supposed to do, now you done lied
yeah,
about it.
then
All
I
right,
done
carry on.
lied about it. So then the lady actually follows him down the driveway
Mm,
and finds out where he lives.
mm.
Kicker is his parents aren't home. Well, his mom isn't home. It was a I don't know where his dad was because I never met his dad. They're probably divorced
He
or
went out
something.
for milk.
But she wasn't home, and then the lady was like, "Well, we're gonna sit here until your mom gets home, unless you tell us where that other kid lives, and then you might have a chance." So he gave me
Oh
up.
wow,
He gave me up, and all of a
wow.
sudden
He snitched on you.
yeah, I'm sitting there finally cooled down, not huffing puffing anymore in my room, and I hear this knock on the door, and I hear my dad open the door, and he's like starts yelling at me, "Get over here!" And I was like, "Oh shit!" So I get over there. He's like, "Oh, you like the moon people, huh?" And he starts whooping my ass and literally dragging me down this whole dirt driveway by my
Oh wow.
arm. Takes me out to the front of the road, takes my pants down, and just starts whooping my ass as cars are going by. He's like,
Don't feel bad. My parents made. I got caught lying. I don't remember what for, what it, or what it. But my parents made me get a big piece of like cardboard box or whatever, and write on there, "I'm a liar, honk if you read it," and made me go stand outside on the curb.
That,
I
was,
feel
was
like
that
that's
Like,
back in the day when you used to treat the whatever you did as the punishment. So he was like showing my
right?
ass to the world. It's like you smoke cigarette or you want to smoke a cigarette, smoke these entire
Smoke all of
carton.
them.
Yeah, yeah.
When I was a
Right.
kid, my dad used to say he was going to come over and take us to do stuff and then didn't.
Oh,
Cue the sound music or the sad music, Mike.
what was
Dun,
what
dun,
was what was
dun.
the worst thing, worst punishment you ever got? That's an open question for everybody.
Oh God, man.
Ooh.
I
Just
deserved
get
it
my
though.
ass
I
whooped.
just
That's about it.
mm.
But I mean, our
Well, I got
daily
kicked
life.
out.
Oh, sorry.
I got kicked out at 16.
Oh shit! I didn't never got kicked out, but
For
Oh no,
oh,
I
for
got kicked.
doing
Listen, I got kicked out twice
for
for the
doing
same
something.
thing. Oh, I was stealing a car at night.
Ah,
Yeah, I did it for 2 years and they only caught me twice.
but you did not smoke in that motherfucker.
Do I need to
Not that time.
do I need to edit that out?
Oh no, they know now.
Oh, okay. No, I know.
Remember, I told you I got kicked out the second time.
No,
The
you're
first time
you-
I got caught, and all right.
I don't think you
so
understand.
I
You're
can-
a grown ass man now. Your mom's not gonna punish you for that shit. I mean, like you were stealing cars for 2 years. Should we edit that
No,
out?
I was
family
stealing
car.
my
Yeah, the
parents'
family
car.
Oh, okay. Oh, you're not
right.
that hardcore.
So remember
Got
when I told you I was putting the CD player in the car?
Yeah.
Well, they thought I was exploring my young genius. No, I knew exactly what I was doing. There was no way in hell I was going to be stealing the car, riding around at night, flipping tapes. So I put a CD player in the car, and I put 2 tins in the back seat of a Ford Windstar. Okay, straight up, they thought I was doing it for them, to showcase my my genius, whatever. No, I knew exactly what I was doing. Because I knew I was going to have somebody's daughter in there with me. And we was not going to be listening to Kurt Franklin and Fred Hammond tapes. Okay? Straight up.
Oh,
I was like,
I put 5
I
12s.
was stealing my parents' car so consistently. One of my adult friends got a job knowing that he had to get off at 2:00 in the morning and knew that I would come pick him up every day. That's how I got caught the second time. The first time, one of the neighbors parked in my dad's parking spot, and I had to make that, and I got caught. And so he kicked me out. So there was an apartment behind where I lived at, and so they had an outside staircase that nobody ever used. So I went back there and spent the night, and like I was on like cloud 9. Like I can say whatever I want to say on this.
absolutely.
Go for it.
So it was
Not
the
that
first
though.
night
Don't
I
say
ever. It was the first night I ever ate pussy.
that.
Okay. Me and my oldest son's mom, she was going to UNF at the time, And like I had been going back and forth and all that stuff like that. And we finally decided to cross the line. And so we went into one of the little common rooms in the dormitory. And she asked if I was gonna do it. I was like, why not? And so I did it, and I was like, oh, it is nothing like what my friends made it out to be. I enjoyed this. This was fun. And so the entire time I'm riding back, it's like 5:00 in the morning, okay? And I'm riding back, and the whole time I'm driving, hand on the steering wheel, I just keep going.
He's smelling his fingers, everyone.
No, I was flipping my lip back up to my nose so I could smell the coochie juice on my mustache.
The flavor saver.
But what he didn't know,
look, I don't
it was
remember
that
no
time
more.
of the month, and he had a red beard.
Shit, me. I would have smelled them nickels. So, listen. I've never done anything like that, but just for some reason though, I have a clue that when they bleed out that time of month, it smells like a bag of pennies. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey, Mike.
So
Well, that's blood. So
Do you have your Red
Right.
Wings?
plenty iron, But no, that was the first time I got caught. The second time I got caught was my buddy called me. He was like, "Hey man, I had to work late today," because by this time he had gotten, he was able to be there long enough, so he got like the late earlier shift. But this particular night, he had to work late, and so he just figured he would call me and see. And I'm like, "All right, cool, yeah, no problem, bro." I get up, like, because I have my own phone line in the room. So I get up, grab the keys like it's my car. And, bro, when I walked out the front door, it's 2:00 in the morning. And, mind you, I'm 16. I don't even have a learner's permit. I've been doing this, with no license at all. So when I get home, I drop them off. Everything goes good. I go straight back home because I'm like, I'm really not trying to be in the streets tonight. I'm gonna go home. I go home, and this time I said I'm going through the back door. And so back then, the house we lived in, so the back door was in the kitchen, but there was another dividing wall to like this little area my mom converted into like a little mini den, right? So we had a couch and a TV and everything in there. And so as soon as you walk in, I walk in the back door, I take one step and I just look to my right into the den, and my dad's laid out on the couch. I'm like, oh shit. So I just stand up straight against the door. And like I stood there for like 5 minutes, bro. Like what do I do? Like I'm trying to I'm sitting here doing science in my head, trying to all right.
oh,
So
you went incognito.
if I lift my foot up, so like like we had tile floors. I got tennis shoes on, so when you on the tile floor, every time you lift your foot up, that little stick noise or whatever. So I'm sitting here like, okay, so if I lift my heel first, and all of this until I get it off the floor completely to take the step, and I'm gonna go heel toe, and I took the first step, and I'm like, all right, I'm good. As soon as I took that first step, my dad just out of his slumber, out of nowhere, just goes, "Did you have fun?" I said,
Come on now. He's got video surveillance cameras on his eyelids.
literally. And he hadn't opened his eyes yet. That was the crazy part. He had not opened his eyes, bro. And he was like, "Did you have fun?"
He probably
And
got
I'm
those
like,
through the military. He went in the secret
listen,
area.
my dad told me he actually was invited for Delta Force, right? He was in the Army. And he didn't make the cut for one reason. Can you guess which test he failed?
Psychopath.
No, that's actually one of the qualifications.
Oh, is it?
So he couldn't swim.
I
said, great job living
what
up
a
to the
setup.
stereotype, Pop.
God
Great
damn.
job. True story.
That's
Story.
fucked
He
up.
could not swim.
I
And
didn't
he
say it.
failed the goddamn. Hey, it's history at this point.
Oh,
As soon as he told me, I just said, great job living up to the hype.
Yeah.
Great job. What a way to kill the stereotype, huh?
Yeah.
And the crazy part is my mom, she swims like a fucking fish. I'm like, you couldn't get your own wife to teach you how to swim? You grew up in Jacksonville on the beach. How do you not know how to swim?
He didn't need it. He just lift the water up. with his
Ah.
strong ass arms, apparently.
I guess
Split the
so.
sea. I'm Moses, motherfucker.
Hey, look, if you're gonna put a biblical reference to it, you're on point. So, but yeah, so he's like, "Did you have fun?" And I told him, I said, I'm thinking, okay, maybe if I just talk, maybe he'll just try to throw something at me. I dodge it, and he tell me to get out of his face, and I go to my room, and I deal with it in the morning because I was genuinely tired. And so he was like, I'm like, no, sir, I didn't have fun. He was like, why you didn't have fun? You was out joyriding. And I think this is what pissed him off more than anything. The fact that I pretty much told my dad I snuck out to go run an errand and do a favor for a friend in his vehicle pissed him off. When I told him, oh no, my friend just needed a ride home from work, he stood up and like whenever your parent moves from any kind of, steel movement, like all courage is gone. You know what I'm saying? There's no amount of liquor that can strengthen your nerves for the impending damage that's about to happen. And so as soon as he says that, he sits up and I tense up, like, because again, my dad's a track star, football star, all this little stuff, military guy. There's no point in running. I did it one time and got away, and the only reason he didn't catch me and he told me was because he didn't want to scuff up his Stacey Adams. That's the only reason I got away.
Shit.
You know what I'm saying?
Was he still
And
in
at
his
that
church
time,
suit?
I called myself. He was in a church. It was all right. This would be like a Wednesday night outfit.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like dress pants and a little, in a shirt, and and the Stacey's, and so yeah, like that's the Stacey's is what saved my life because he told me he was like, honestly at that point I was so mad I don't know what I would have done. I'm kind of glad I didn't catch you. I was like, okay, cool, because at that time my dad was playing for like a semi-pro football team and he was a wide receiver, bro. Like I'm fast. But that fucker was fast.
They should make that into a commercial for Stacey Adams.
Yeah,
you
thanks.
can't catch nothing but this fashion.
Right.
Please sponsor us.
Hey, look,
Stacey
I wear a
Adams.
size 11 to 13 depending on the cut of the shoe. Thank you, Stacey.
I'll eat some Bluebell out of a pair of Stacey Adams.
Oh man!
No.
Breaking news: we have a new sponsor.
Yeah. Right.
Is Stacey Adams still around?
He sits up.
Only one I knew about was in the Gateway Mall.
No, it was not in the Gateway Mall. It was in the Iceman
and Mr. Kicks. Yeah.
Yes. Where every black teenager and anybody got their Easter Sunday out.
That's where we used to have church at one point, right there at the Gateway Mall. You know the entrance, that building to the right before you go into the main entrance? That was where our church was.
And they're getting their schwaff on.
Right. What?
Huh?
It's
nothing to worry about.
Out. It's a call out.
But yeah, no. Like Jacksonville has, if you lived in Jacksonville in the 90s, Jacksonville was actually a cool place to be. Like we had certain things
better than it is now.
Like right. Like now it's just all, suburban, gentrified everywhere now. It's like there's like me and
you had Leonard Skinner and Limp Bizkit.
Hey, technically at that time Limp Bizkit was just coming out too.
And Pink Floyd.
Hey, honorable mentions, But yeah, it was Jacksonville back then was kind of cool. We had Come Together Day. The Jags had just got here and they were good.
Oh yeah. Tony Baselli.
They had Mark Brunell.
Yeah.
Baselli. My grandma used to be like his housekeeper or one of his housekeepers or something like that. She has an autographed game worn jersey and everything.
Oh shit! I used to pick up Fred Taylor's garbage.
I almost killed Tony.
Is that where you
twice?
Is that twice? Is that where you got the PlayStation that you told me about, the PlayStation 2?
No. I never went through his garbage or anything like that. But then my wife also had an instance where she ran into Mark Brunell. It's a pretty funny story. That her and her friends used to play pranks on each other. So where one time they came home and all their furniture was turned upside down, like every last piece of furniture in the whole house. So then they started stealing this garden gnome and taking it back and forth out of the yard and keeping it. Then somebody would find it and then bring it back to their house. So the last time she stole it, she was with a friend and they go to a Waffle House, I believe it was. It was some restaurant like that, and they're in there eating, and they got their little gnome and everything, and they're like, "Oh
Mm.
shit, is that Mark Brunell?" And they're like, "It is." And I'm like, "Hey, I'm gonna go talk to him." So they go over to talk to him. They're like, "Hey, I just stole this gnome from a friend's house. Can you write a ransom note?" And he did. he's like, he's like, he's like, if you want to see your gnome ever again, you will send me $5 million in cash by this time or something like that. It was like signed Mark Brunell.
Oh, he actually
Yeah,
signed
he
his name
signed
to it.
it. I think
Oh
she still has
shit!
that note somewhere.
Oh snap! Yeah.
So that
See,
was,
now that's good stuff.
yeah,
Now
he's a
that's the
good
one thing
guy.
about my childhood. I feel like I missed out on, like the opportunity to really do, like, pull off some really cool pranks and stuff. I would have loved to do that with the mind that I have now. Oh, I would have came up with some good, clever stuff.
Well, you can get in trouble
Yeah.
too. I've been in there.
Back then, all you had to worry about was the ass whooping. Now, yeah, you gonna go to
Well,
jail and get
I
charges
could have
on
went
you
to
and
jail on one
everything.
of mine because me and another friend down the road when I lived in Jacksonville, our van was broke down in front of our house, but we were hiding behind it and taking slingshots with rocks and hitting this guy's door, his front door, directly across from us. And we pop, and he come out and look around and then go back in his house, and we pull it pop and go back in. Then the last time he freaking pulled the thing back and let it go, he opened the door and it hit him in the eye.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh
And he had to go
wow.
to the hospital and everything. He had this big white patch over his eye. And my friend, he took complete blame for it, even though we were both hitting his door with it. But I didn't know who hit him or who didn't hit him. But yeah, then his mom kept on looking at me like I was bad news. And I was like, well, we decided to do this shit together, you know?
It wasn't just me,
Yeah, like I'm a
like,
bad influence, you know?
right, like you're raising a hellion too, goddamn it, you know
Well,
what I'm saying?
he was overall a good kid though. He like was playing baseball, got good grades. I was the kid that wasn't getting good grades, played video games all the time. You know, just roaming
So
the
so she
streets.
was right then. So she was right.
Not exact. It
Okay.
wasn't my idea per se. Like I said, we got into this shit together, and I
It
didn't
wasn't
come up
your
with
idea,
everything.
but you lived up to the hype, though.
Yeah, of course. I never meant to hit the
Yeah.
man in the eye if I did hit him, but yeah.
Well, at least
Sure.
Well, that was I like. I remember one time my grandma was moving into this new apartment complex when we was younger, somewhere off of like Old Kings Road, right? And matter of fact, yeah, those apartments that we all used to do, and they were all just one bedroom apartments on Old Kings Road, and they all looked
Oh
exactly
yeah.
alike.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so my grandma was moving into one of them style apartments, right? And so they're all, the adults are all in the house because, of course, my grandma ain't lifting nothing but pots and pans because that's the only thing, what I'm saying, nobody's allowed to touch. And so me and my cousin, we're outside, we're probably like 12, 11, 12. And my first round of golf was that day. And when I tell you, I lost, but it was definitely worth the loss. My cousin, like, I swung a couple of times, we went and found the ball because, of course, it was just one ball, and we brought it back to the parking lot. And so my cousin managed to tee up the ball with something. I don't even remember what it was, but it was perfect. And when I tell you he had the perfect swing, like, it had to have been a driver. We don't even remember where we found the golf club at, but we found it and the ball, and we're in the parking lot. And my cousin has this just masterful Tiger Woods-esque swing. Like, it was perfect. And as soon as he hit it, the ball just crashed into the back of this dude's Jeep back window.
Oh, shit.
And it instantly, it's like, as soon as he hit it, went boom, boom. And I just went like, oh shit. And I ducked back to the house because I was like, for once, I'm not getting the ass whooping. This is not me. And the dude must have been watching the whole time because as soon as it happened, before I could even get back to the front door, all you hear is this dude just yelling, "Hey, come in, let's go, let's go." And so he sees where I ran, so apparently I gave away the location. And he just comes straight to the door and he tells my auntie what happened. And my auntie, like, getting an ass whooping when I was younger, between me and my cousins, listen, it was gonna happen. Hell, it didn't even have to come from your parents. My auntie, my uncle, anybody, we'd all get ass whoopings, whichever dope was available at the time was who laid hands on you, and it wasn't, and it was not pretty. And when I tell you, I don't know what kind of insurance that dude had because his deductible wasn't up but $200. I don't know if it was just how it worked back then, but
But
back in the 90s, though,
$200 was a
That
lot
was a
of
lot
money.
of money.
that was a lot of money,
Yeah.
right? That's what I'm saying. So, my auntie was pissed, and my cousin got his ass beat. I just got slapped upside the head. You know what I'm saying? I can live with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I still got to eat dinner that night. I don't think my cousin did. And so, because that was another form of punishment we had to go through. If you fucked up, oh no, you went to bed without dinner and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, nowadays they would call that child neglect and abuse and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But that was just the way of life.
About what year was that? You'd have to say.
Probably, I say
All right,
97.
so $200 in 1997 in today's money would be $553.
There you go. So
I
whoever
gotta get rid of these sunglasses. Mike looks like a fake.
You gotta
Blues
go fuck
Brother
yourself.
on an investigation.
Hey, look, we're just adding to the dynamics, okay? Don't be mad because you're not one of the cool kids. That's all.
Don't be mad because you're
But I
blind.
want to be cool.
176%
Well,
inflation. 176%.
wow.
Yeah,
Jeez.
Yeah. See,
come a long
and that's what he
ways.
cost my auntie, and that was definitely not a good day for him. So, but I made up for it as an adult because I almost took out this lady's eye when I used to work at the hospital, and I almost took out what was it? I think she was a sterile tech, and me and one of the anesthesia techs, I built the case cards for surgery, right? So like if you had surgery, I was the one that put all the materials that the doctor was going to be using for your surgery.
Is
and,
that why
and,
I'm missing
they
half a
call it the
kidney?
case card. Hey, no, that's the doctor.
Half a kidney.
You know,
Damn,
funny
that's
story,
pretty,
right?
That's impressive, actually.
Right, you know what I'm saying?
We
And
only need half.
let's go have a drink, Kelly. So, and so, but me and one of the anesthesia techs, we used to go back in this back hallway, and the specimen cup. So, like if they took half of your kidney, they would put it in this specimen cup, right? And it came with a little lid and all that. So there was 3 sizes. We just call it small, medium, and large. So me and I won't say his name, but me and that guy, we would get the large specimen cup and we would go in the back hallway
And
and
jerk
toss
off
like
into
frisbee.
it. Oh.
Wrong medical facility. You see, no,
There's
sorry.
There's Jeremy's contribution to this podcast right now. When you need someone to talk about
Yep.
jerking off, he's the man for the job.
I'm an expert.
Some people revert back to the Bible. Some people revert back.
Was there
to,
jerking off in the
masturbation,
Bible?
But hey, I'm sure it was. We just didn't understand the wording.
Oh, that's how Eve got
Yeah.
pregnant. Or not Eve.
Having a tub.
Mary.
I think there is something in there about spilt semen being a sin.
That is
So-
true.
I was
That
just
is
having a tub.
definitely
But
true.
what if it landed and went in? Is it still spilt?
Better
No,
to
it's
fall
caught.
in
See?
in the womb of a thing. I think it's whore. Then
Maybe that's where that song comes from, in the eyes of the angel.
In the arms, not the eyes.
Oh, the arms. Oops.
of the-
No, now I'm seeing sad puppies and starving children. Fuck.
Listen, all right. So years ago,
jerk
all right,
off
when I
to
used
that?
to,
You sick bastard.
It depends.
So back to our former, most of our former employers, right? When I used to work San Marco, I had to go do this business out off of Powers Road, and you already know anything off of Powers Road,
yeah.
it sucks.
Fuck
Oh, yeah.
San Marco.
So I love
'Cause it's
San-
not
I love working
gentrified.
San Marco.
Now.
You sure about that?
You should
Now.
see
You
it
sure
now.
about that?
No, I was talking about Powers
You
Avenue.
sure about-
I was-
You sure about
Powers
that?
Avenue has not been touched. Everything around it
Yeah,
has.
sure about that?
It's been a while, but last time
Oh,
I was
no.
there.
Listen. They got multiple fiber companies out there on Powers Avenue.
Oh,
now.
really? Oh
yeah,
shit!
yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
first step. Give them
But
technology, and they will build.
oh, trust me, they have suburban communities out there now.
Really?
Yep.
Yes,
Oh shit!
they had started building those before you left.
Well, I don't go around there. Shit, I lived off a
Neither do I.
monument.
I got listen. I got sent over there to do a job probably like this time last year. And as I'm doing it, the other fiber company that pretty much services the whole neighborhood, what you got them boys here for? We're your internet provider and stuff like that. And like the dude damn near had me kicked out. I was like,
Well, I got a knife
good, because
pulled
I didn't
on
want to
me.
bore. Look, first off, I didn't want to bore that sidewalk anyway, so I was glad that the splice was bad. Okay, but anyway, back to the original point that I was getting ready to make. I was working over there, and one of the FTs I had to put in a helper ticket. So one of the FTs that came out there, you could tell this dude had been here about 30 years. He carried both his cell phones in the shirt pocket, and it was leaning all the way down to his belly button. And his wife kept calling, and I'm like, all right, cool. So every time I walk up to him, he on the phone, and he's like, yeah, man, my wife, I don't know, what I'm saying, whatever. And so one time he's standing there explaining everything to me, right? And his wife calls again, and he got his phone on ring. Why, when his wife calls, that's the song that played in the arms of the angel.
That was
I
a
was
that was
like,
a long story for that
Sure was.
callback.
well, that was
Jesus
because
Christ.
you kept interrupting me, talking about gentrified areas on Powers Avenue, like you live here still, and you're gonna tell me.
That's right. I'm
No,
gonna tell
Either way,
you.
he brought it back full circle.
Yeah,
right?
a circle jerk. That was your joke, Jeremy. You're welcome.
Hey, man, help a
Hey,
brother
no,
out.
Keller, listen. I taught you the word. You forgot it already?
The word.
Yes. What's the word? You called it, your circle back. No. What was the word I taught you?
I don't know.
Spank bank.
How do you work your way into another topic?
Into segue.
There you go.
Segue to our sponsor.
So like he tried to.
Isn't that the shit
So
you
he
ride
called
to?
me
That has two wheels,
different spelling.
but same word.
I think segue is what
Same
we're talking
goal. It
about
gets
is
you from point A to B.
SEGUE. I think
Segway is
if I'm correct.
SEGWAY, the one you ride on. Segway,
Right.
going from one thing to
Right.
another, is SEGUE.
And then
Right,
there's
so
a
I was right.
Sabian. I love that Clark got it.
Wait. Right. I'll get ready to say, okay, do you know what you're talking about? Okay.
I know what I'm talking about.
Thank you for
I
appealing
got-
to the drummer in me. Thank you. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
Every church had them. If you had money, you had zillions.
Looks like we're about to have to wrap up here soon. So, what's your
All right. May the
top?
Lord keep watch between me and thee while we are absent. I love the fact that Jeremy bowed his head and didn't realize what he was doing.
Before we go, top 10 musical groups or solo artist or whatever. What would be your
That's
list?
a tough one.
All right. I'm gonna just count. I don't have the capacity to put them in order, but I will give you 10. Most Def, Tupac.
He's
Doesn't matter genre.
in Cuba,
Doesn't
by
matter
the way.
genre,
It
right?
doesn't matter genre.
All right. Most Def, Tupac, John P. Key. Let's see, D'Angelo,
Oh.
Big
How
Crit.
does it feel?
Oh yes. Bone Thugs and Harmony, of course.
You said Big Crit?
Yes.
Six.
What am
Made
I
the
at?
list,
6?
huh? Yep.
Well, of course, I drove to go see him.
I
in
know
concert
one of
twice. He got
yours.
to be
I know one of yours.
who?
Jill Scott.
Who? That's my wife. She will always have my she will never be relegated to just a spot. She has my heart.
Okay. But she's on the
Um,
list, right?
No.
No? Oh, shit.
No, not because of that. Like she's just gonna always be here.
You just
know what
you
I'm
just
saying? So
ruined
it's
it.
like,
You
yeah,
you
it
could have
doesn't
had a
matter.
love affair with Jill Scott and you just blew it.
why? You don't. If you know Jill Scott, putting her on a list is
Exactly.
not the way to get her. So, thank you for helping me. So,
You're a great wingman, buddy.
Yeah,
right.
I fuck up all the time.
4 more.
Oh man, top 10. Let's see. This dude has actually worked his way there. I gotta give it to him. He's a newbie too. Anderson Paak.
Oh.
Let's see. Oh shit. I think I do have my number 1 spot though. Curtis Mayfield.
Push him, man.
Let's see who else. James Brown.
One more.
And then lastly, let's give the women some love here. You said it could be a group too, so
Avril Lavigne.
The Strokers.
Taylor Swift.
You weren't supposed to tell people about that, Michael.
The world knows.
Swiftie.
Everyone knows.
No,
Don't get swifty when
Give-
you can get schwaffed.
give me Jasmine Sullivan.
All right.
Huh? Who?
Jasmine Sullivan. Honorable mention:
Stop yelling at me.
Amy Winehouse.
Good
Yeah.
selection. Good
That
selection.
was a good selection. All right, you got anything that you want to plug while you're on here before we go?
Actually, I do. Musically, my buddy Kale is actually getting ready to come out with an album this month. I want to say the 24th. The album's called It's Personal. Kale is definitely a dope artist. If he ever sees this, I hope he understands.
Is that going to be on all platforms or?
It will be on all platforms, and Kale is a magnificent artist. Like, the dude tried to quit, and I told him, I'll say that is not allowed. You're too talented. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, his new album called It's Personal comes out this month on the 24th. If you bear with me for 15 seconds, I can tell you exactly. August 27th. Look out for Kale's album It's Personal. You can find him on Instagram under Kale That Raps. Kale like the vegetable. Kale.
Kale That Raps.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Well, it's always a pleasure. It's good
I've
to see you.
enjoyed this time with you guys. You guys are always my friends and my buddies. Yeah.
You
I was just thinking about it the other day, Mike. You know what? We have the relationship that I was not expecting. Shouts out to OK
bitch.
Player for
Damn
bringing
right.
us together.
Damn right.
I love you
The
guys.
roots.
Mm-hmm.
I love you.
The whole
I love
thing.
you.
Right. And then you other two, you just happen to be the guys I had to train.
Take us out, Jeremy.
Konnichiwa.
Bitches.
Holy man.
The Stale Bread Podcast is Daniel Keller, Jeremy Pope, and Michael Koliznik, recorded live at SMG Studios, a division of SMG Communications. Executive producers Michael Koliznik and Tony Skipperson Clark.